Hi, chat. So, we are going to continue the Silent Hill Play Novel. Last time we did Harry's part, so now we are going to do Cybil's. Okay, without further ado, let's jump in. Okay. Hello? Hello? The phone had... Sorry. Just reducing the volume because it's very annoying. Hello? Hello? The phone had suddenly gone dead. She tried to call back right away. However, the call would not go through. Perfect. I wonder what is going on. Her co-worker Sally saw Cybil's flushed face and could not help making a joke. It's because you are so hostile. I bet they just don't want to talk to you anymore. Hostile? Perhaps. After all I do always say what's on my mind. Saying this, Cybil smiled. The peaceful town of Brahms. The population is small, and perhaps for this reason, there has not been an incident worth calling and what? Calling and what? Not worth calling, comma. An incident for several years. As for the officers on the night shift, they generally pass the time by staring at newspaper clippings or chatting with colleagues at other departments. Even now, with nothing notable appearing in the local news, Cybil was just having a meaningless conversation about this and that with a friend in the Silent Hill Police Department. But then, suddenly, the line had gone dead. Finally. It was so loud. And they had not called back. The call won't go through. Maybe this is happening because someone is trying to tell you not to waste all your time chatting. How about settling down and taking your feet off the desk? Cybil does not care for Sally's big sister-like attitude. Cybil calls the Silent Hill police station and one more time. Odd, Cybil thought. It seems as if this might be the result of the telephone lines having been severed or something. Cybil leaps from her chair, causing it to spin, reaches for the helmet on top of a locker, and with it in hand, prepares to leave the room. Wait, just where do you think you are going at this hour? Sally has a look of, "You have got to be kidding," on her face. And then she absent-mindedly allows the coffee cup she was holding in her right hand to fall to the floor. Ah, hot. You can take care of that yourself. Cybil mumbles this in her head, and in the next moment run out of the room. Cybil straddles the motorcycle in the garage, inserts the key, and revs the engine. The sound of the exhaust resonates in the small space. She pulls out onto the road and increases her speed as she is bathed from head to toe in the uncomfortably warm wind. Warm wind? I thought it would be cold. Okay. Starlight falls upon her from the clear starlit sky. It doesn't look like the weather could have caused a problem with the phone lines. Cybil tightly holds onto the handlebars and continues to increase her speed. At this hour, there should not be any other cars heading to Silent Hill. The road has been lit in front and behind only by street lamps since she reached this mountain road, and there is no sign of anyone in the area. However, after a while, she was able to see the taillights of a vehicle swaying far off in the darkness in front of her. There is a cliff on one side of the road. Whether they realize that or not, the vehicle is heading toward the same destination as Cybil at high speed. Normally, I would pull this guy over. Cybil mutters this, increases her speed, and catches up with the four-wheel drive jeep in no time. As she passes it, Cybil glances inside the jeep for a moment, quickly smiles, then blasts in front of it. The jeep quickly becomes smaller and smaller in the side mirrors of her motorcycle. And then, she started to notice that she could not keep her eyes focused. Sleepiness. No, I have been on the night shift for a while and should have gotten plenty of sleep this afternoon. Her body becomes one with the motorcycle, and it slices through the darkness. Maybe it was foolish to wear short sleeves, although it was rather warm when Cybil left the station. Now her skin feels so cold that it is like the cold is cutting into her. Her eyelids are heavy, her mouth has become dry. What's wrong with me? She lightly shakes her head left and right. Against her will, her right hand turns the grip that will cause her to accelerate. The needle is buried and madly shakes back and forth. Sybil then stared straight forward, but it was already too late. In the middle of the road, the girl stood, with her arms raised to shield her from the light. Sybil slammed on the brakes. The last thing she saw was the rapidly approaching rock wall on the side of the road. Hita, hita. Something, something cold is touching Sybil's cheek. Ayo? Sybil slowly opened her eyes. Where am I? She is not yet able to stand up. She does not seem to be hurt. However, her body will not do as she commands. Nevertheless, she is fully conscious. Large snowflakes are falling all over her body. She is lying face down in the middle of the wide street. I wonder, just how long have I been here like this? After waiting for the nurse throughout her body to return to normal, Sybil lumbered to her feet. Her body was sluggish, like when she wakes up, and she was unable to think straight. Silent Hill. That is what is written on the sign on the sidewalk. In addition to the out-of-season snow, the area is enveloped in thick fog, which generally makes her destination look differently than it normally would. The motorcycle that she came here on was also nowhere to be found. Oh, hi, Okami. With nothing else to do, she decided to rest in the cafe facing the street. The inside of the cafe is dead silent. She does not see any customers or employees. This destroys her hopes of getting something warm to drink, so she lets out a sigh. She could just cook herself a coffee. It's not that hard. First, I must get in contact with the other officers back in Brahms. Sybil picks up the receiver from the phone on the corner of the counter, but not a single sound can be heard from the speaker. It seems like somehow the heavy snowfall, which could be called abnormal weather, has damaged the communication systems. There is no doubt that this is the reason why the call got cut off at the Brahms station. Cybil looks around the inside of the cafe. Ah, she guessed without thinking about it. Man. She can see a man lying down on one of the long bench seats lined up along the windows. A customer? No, this place isn't open. She moves near him and looks down at his sleeping face. His face is twisting in agony, as if he's having a frightening dream. Sybil hesitates. She waits for the man to wake up or wakes him up. I mean, does it matter? I'll just wake him up. Sybil approaches the man and holds her arms out in a way that suggests that she's going to shake his shoulders. Also, interesting that her POV is not first person. It's like somebody is describing what she's doing, but here it was first person. Wakey wakey. I think this is because we are taking the the ending where he was writing this story. So he writes this from his POV about himself, but he doesn't from her perspective because I don't know. It's hard to relate to another person for him, I guess. At that moment, the man woke up with a look of surprise on his face. He shook his body in a way to brush Cybil's hands away, and then stared at her. Human? Are you human? That's kind of weird. Why would you ask this? At this point, she didn't even see a monster, so Cybil makes an effort to compose herself and then sits down on a nearby chair. Of course I am. Oh, that's what he was asking, sorry. It's kind of hard to tell because it's not color coded and it doesn't say the names first. Okay. Human, are you human? Cybil makes an effort to compose herself and then sits down on a nearby chair. Of course I am. Are you having a bad dream or something? The man finally regains his composure as well, and then he adjusts his position on the bench seat. Sorry, I was attacked by mysterious monsters before I came here. You sound crazy. You shouldn't admit this. Mysterious monsters? Yeah, it may have been just a dream. I think that it was... I think it was real. It was all vague and unclear. Who are you? I'm Cybil Bennett. I'm a police officer in the neighboring town of Brahms. All communication with this town suddenly went dead, so I came here to investigate. Harry's expression changed slightly to one of relief. Oh, I should have said so, but I'm Harry Mason. I'm a writer. I had decided to come here for my first vacation in a while. Harry shrugged his shoulders and looked at Cybil with a serious look on his face. But when I arrived here, I got separated from my daughter. She's a little girl, 7 years old with black hair. Her name is Cheryl. You haven't seen her, have you? Sorry, but I haven't. I see. Just where did she go? She's not the type to just act on her own. When I came to, I was lying in the street in front of this cafe. As for how I got here, I don't remember at all. That sounds like a lot what happened to me. Well, anyway, Harry stands up and glances at the out-of-season snow that continues to fall. I've got to look for Cheryl. There is no way I can just leave her here alone. I see. Well, I'll give you this then. You never know what might happen under these circumstances. If you feel threatened, then pull the trigger without hesitating. She gives Harry a handgun loaded with live ammunition. But you will be alright? Harry asked worriedly. I'm not like the average girls around here. I have undergone the proper training. Cybil placed her hand on the exit door, but then she turned and faced Harry again. Harry, don't go shooting me by mistake or anything. I haven't had any training on how to stop bullets. She smiled after saying this, opened the door of the cafe, and then headed out into the thick fog. Hold on. Okay. Cybil looks back and sees that the cafe has disappeared into the fog. Having lost her motorcycle, Cybil can only wander about on foot alone in the eerie town. It's too quiet. There is no sense of anyone at all. I would like to hail a taxi or something, but there is not a single car running. At some point, Cybil had begun to run. Above all, she must get out of Silent Hill. However, after running for a bit, Cybil's hopes are crushed. All the roads leading out of town were cut off, and it was as if the entire town was floating in the air. There was no way for anyone to enter the town. Huh. Cybil sighs deeply. She then decides to try going back the way she came. After running for a bit, she comes to another steep valley like before. It is wide and impedes her passage. And then she became sure that it was not possible to escape from this place. I mean, has she tried every single road? I'm pretty sure you could leave somewhere. Just certain ones are blocked, right? Cybil felt like a bird in a cage as she walked apathetically and aimlessly through the falling snow. It was not long before a black, wriggling object appeared in her field of vision. Black, wriggling object? Is that going to be a monster, or is that just a child from afar? Oh, that's a monster, it's a doggy. What is that? From off in the fog, the four-legged thing moved at a slow pace as it gradually closed the distance between it and her. And then as soon as it detected Cybil, it began to ferociously run toward her, scattering in the fog as it moved. The monster. Oh, I decide what happened? Oh, then the monster didn't attack me. Okay. The monster just moves right past Cybil, and then continues away from her. Clearly, it is headed somewhere with some purpose. Yeah, all the monsters have to chase Harry because now I'm playing, so I don't wanna get attacked. Yeah. Cool. Wait. Are you saying I'm actually not playing as Cybil but the director? And I can just choose that nothing bad ever happens to her. Okay. Various concerns run through the back of Cybil's mind. Instinctively, she begins to chase after the monster. Why am I chasing the monster? Okay. I chase the monster, okay. You know, free will is an illusion. However, its speed is fast and it does not appear possible for Cybil to be able to catch up to it. Additionally, the thick curtain of fog is also making her pursuit difficult. Cybil continues to run for a while, but ends up completely losing sight of her target. Okay, but what is her plan here? She doesn't have a gun right now. Is she going to just karate the dog or something? Because she has... Does she know how to fight a dog unarmed? Or... I don't know. Let's just read. She stops and leans against an antique lamppost and presses on her chest. She waits as the time between her continuous white breaths gradually increases and then begins walking again. Cybil calms herself down or is overcome with hopelessness. Let's not lose hope because I wanna continue the story. Like, why would I want to like choose options that make her like feel worse? Or am I supposed to just try to sabotage her and see when she loses it? Because it would be funny. Yeah, I'm just gonna be nice to her. Being unable to escape from Silent Hill, Cybil then worried about what she should do next. Since all the people have vanished, she cannot even talk to anyone about what is happening here. I should look for the police station. Even if the person I was talking on the phone with earlier isn't there, I might be able to get some other information there. She has visited this town many times. Following the thread of her memory, she begins walking along the complicated, intersecting streets. I mean, yeah, probably she can find a pistol at the police station. That's why she has another one. But explain it. Wait, she just goes through the bridge? The bridge that is not down? Or does it just go up for Harry and it's actually down for her? I guess. Just how long have I been walking? As she saw the word police appear from out of the fog, her entire body was completely exhausted. She opens the glass door at the entrance and heads inside. As she does this, she sees that no one is there, which is just as she had expected. The lack of any sound is painful to her ears. No, actually, it feels really nice after this weird ASMR sound, so it's actually nice. Let's appreciate the silence. Okay, let's carry on. After she walked around the reception area for a bit, she moved toward the room that the door had been left open for. The plate beside the door says meeting room. Compared to the same room at the Brum station, this one is quite small. She looked around the room. Ah, the phone is off the hook, or someone is here. Can I just not find that person if I don't look at them? Or does the person only spawn in if I notice them? I want to notice whoever is here. Guys, what do you think? Who is here? Is Kaufman here? Or am I just going to find Harry because he's looting the area for bullets? Or is Dahlia here for some reason, stealing evidence? Let's find out. Cybil senses someone, somewhere in this small room. Underneath the lined-up tables behind the folding chairs, Cybil cautiously checked all of the places that someone could hide in. Is this going to be Cheryl hiding here? But it does not appear that anyone is here. No, why are you lying? I chose the option that someone is here, so somebody is. I just can't find them. The faded ceiling fan is blowing air down towards Cybil. That might have been what made her so sure someone was here. No, I made sure because I chose the option. You can't gaslight me, I know what I clicked. Okay. Or perhaps it was just her imagination. Okay, my 2 cents. There is somebody here, but in the fog realm or in the evil darkness realm, and she just cannot find them because it's not the same dimension. Yeah. She is uneasy. She wants to talk to someone, to anyone. These feelings might be what made Cybil think that someone was here. No, I don't think so. I think somebody actually was here. Okay. What was that all about? Cybil left the police station. Cybil is once again in the city streets where the snow is falling. That's right. I don't think this is a city, it's a small town. But okay. That's right. Cybil recalled her conversation with Harry. Oh yeah, Cybil, you haven't seen a little girl in this town, have you? A little girl? Yes, Cheryl. I wonder if I will be able to rescue her unharmed in this town, which has become the nest of monsters. No, he did not say any of this. This is misquoting him. But Cybil is a police officer to find and protect. Cheryl is her responsibility and her mission. Realizing this, Cybil could not sit still, and in the next moment she was gone. There should be an elementary school on the edge of town. Why does she know where to go? She didn't even find a memo. She just has good intuition. Yep, that's literally what the text says, sorry. Sybil followed her intuition and decided that Shelley probably headed for the school after wandering around town. Per her training in child psychology, she has learned that if a child loses their parents or a guardian, then there is a chance then the chance is high that they will be drawn to places that they are most used to going, places where there are a lot of people. I don't know about that, but the school would be the last place I would want to go on vacation as a child, so I would probably just go to a toy store or something, but not to the school. That's for sure. However, ahead of her all not ahead of her all knowledge, what's a weird wording? Either a bit instinctively or due to a sense similar to that of a memory coming back, she believed somewhere within her heart that Cheryl was probably at the elementary school. Sybil may have been drawn here by someone. As she nears the elementary school, part of her shirt becomes soaked with clammy sweat. Is it really okay to go inside? She asks herself this many times. Why would it not be okay? There is literally nobody else around stopping you. Just go in. As she reached the edge of the school grounds, her conscientious sense of duty as a police officer rose up within her along with her sense of reason. So many words. And she began to walk naturally toward the school. It is now too late for her to turn back. She readies herself and then, using both hands, she pushes the door in front of her open with all her strength. I don't think I don't think it's that hard to push open a door, but okay. She used all her strength to open the door. The aged building reeked of a peculiar mildew. However, its insides were much cleaner than she had expected, and Sybil found this a bit surprising. Hold on, let me look up what the mildew actually is, because I have no idea. A thin whitish coating consisting of a minute fungal hyphae growing on plants or damp organic materials such as paper. Okay, decay. Just call it decay. I'm not gonna like Google the meaning of words. I'm just gonna assume what they are. Perhaps it was just the result of her enduring the cold wind for so long, but she had a terrible headache. Cybil pressed her fingers to her temples and eventually began to walk aimlessly again. Cybil opened the door leading to a long hallway. She looked through the glass windows placed in the doors of the classrooms while slowly walking. There was no sign of Cheryl. The courtyard is to her right. The landscaping is very nice and has been well cared for. The snow has become sleet. It does not look like it will accumulate. In the back of the courtyard, there is an odd-feeling clock tower. However, Cybil is not particularly interested in it. Oh, okay, cool. I wonder how Harry is doing. I wonder if the gun I gave him has come in handy. If I cannot meet with Harry after I find Cheryl, then it will, it will be meaningless. We should have made plans to rendezvous somewhere. Cybil thought this, but at this point nothing could be done. At any rate, there was her horrible headache. It is gradually getting worse, dulling her sense of time and space. A sluggishness, similar to sleepiness, grasped her entire body. Perhaps I am just dreaming all of this. Cybil thought, it is difficult for a person to tell whether they are dreaming or not while in a dream, but for her to accept these conditions is just as difficult. I mean, if it's a dream, just do something funny. Just jump in the air and flap your arms, and if you do fly, then it's a dream. If you cannot, then it's reality. So yeah. Or just imagine like pink fluffy unicorns or something. Maybe you can manifest a creature of your own mind if you want. I mean, Silent Hill does that. It just creates monsters based on what you are thinking about, right? She has no memory of how she got to this town, so it seemed natural for her to think that she has been in a deep sleep since the moment of her motorcycle accident until now. Or possibly from even before then, from the time of the phone call with the Silent Hill police station. Or maybe, while contemplating the many possibilities, Cybil climbed the stairs to the second floor of the school. And then she heard the melody being played on a piano, or she heard the scream of a little girl. Uh, if I just hear the piano, that's Harry doing the puzzle that he didn't actually do because in his story he just touched the blood and left. I hear the screams. I actually find her. Suddenly, Sybil heard the scream of a little girl from in front of her. What? A nervous look ran across Sybil's face. Cheryl? A scream. That could mean. However, there was also a feeling of relief deep inside Sybil's heart. The presence of another human. Someone else who could sympathize with her about this isolated world. She sure was talking tough to Harry, but she seems like she's like freaking out. Sybil begins to run. It doesn't matter to her whose voice that was, and she runs down the long hallway praying that they are okay. And as she approached a certain room, Sybil noticed something. Silly Okami. But yes, since in Silent Hill 2, James just decides that he wants someone that looks exactly like his wife, he just manifests someone that looks exactly like her, but better. So yeah, that is how it works. But I guess maybe you can do it when you actually want. You just do it without meaning to. Or the town just does it for you without you actually thinking that you could do it. I don't know. Sybil noticed something. A person or something at her feet. This is ominous. It's probably a monster, so I would prefer to choose a person. Through the small window at the door, Sybil thought that she saw a small figure swaying back and forth. She stops moving. This is music room. So I am forced to go to the music room because It was just flavor text. There was no choice. Doesn't matter if I notice the music or not. I am going in there. The illusion of choice. Okay, that is what is written on the door. She opens the door without hesitation and rushes into the room. You. Oh my. In the corner of the room, a white-faced girl was sitting still and just looking at Cybil. She appeared to be afraid of something, and her wide eyes were filled with tears that looked like jewels. Okay, so we found her. Let's go home. I just need to find your dad now. Were you the one that screamed? Who else? The little girl does not answer. Cybil swallows and looks at the little girl again. Cheryl? Are you Cheryl? Cybil regained her composure and approached the little girl. She kneeled and softly placed her hands on the girl's shoulders, and the girl nodded. My name is Cybil. Your daddy is looking for you. If we don't hurry back to him, your daddy is braving danger running around this town. Have you seen that ferocious-looking monster? Cheryl shakes her head saying, no. Or nods. She doesn't shake. She nods. Yes. Yeah, she most definitely saw the monster, because we all know that she knows the monsters exist because she's like responsible for them. So yeah. Yeah. You mean the one that looks like a dog? I have seen it, but he was not ferocious. He won't attack anyone or anything like that. Wait, maybe the dog actually looks cute for her. Or it looks the same, but it's just not aggressive because I chose that the dog didn't attack at the start. But Harry is killing dogs. We all know that. He is killing all the dogs. Shooting and stomping on them. They look like monsters to you? Cybil spoke with surprise. She's lying. It didn't attack me. She's lying. It attacked me, and I had given my handgun to your daddy. I thought I was going to die. She's a fucking liar. But he was nice to me, and he listens to what I say. Cybil was half shocked and sighed. Why are you so shocked? The dog didn't attack. I chose the dog not to attack. You were chasing the dog, if anything. Well, okay. It would be terrible if you got hurt. I will protect you. Let's go to your daddy. It is my duty to take you to him. Saying this, Cybil takes Cheryl's hand in hers, and they leave the music room. By chance, the two of them happen to look out a window. That's from where they are. From where they are, the visible courtyard has become completely enveloped in darkness. For it to become night so soon. Sorry, it's just a bit hard for me to read this font. It just looks weird to my eyes. For a moment, Cybil cannot believe her eyes. But then she was only able to worry about whether she would be able to meet Harry. The two of them walked down the pitch-black hallway. Because of the difference in their strides, their footsteps overlap as they echo. At the moment they approached the entrance to the school grounds, Cheryl spoke directly for the first time. I don't want to leave here. I don't want to see my daddy. If we meet there, will be sadness. You should go back, ma'am. Okay. Cybil stopped walking and spoke while just staring at Cheryl. It's your daddy. There is no reason that it would be sad for you to see him. If you stay here, then you might get hurt or worse. Things would then be truly sad. Saying that, Cybil begins walking again. After a bit, she stops and adds, "It's miss, not ma'am." And then the two of them left the school. Just what time is it now? Cybil curses the fact that she forgot her watch at the Bram station. It is probably late at night. She no longer feels the headache or sleepiness from just before. Holding Cheryl's cold hand, Cybil focuses her mind on locating Harry. She figured that Harry was no longer in the cafe, but wonders if maybe he left a memo or something there for her. Yeah, he saved the game and wrote, "I was here, Harry." Compared to Harry, Cybil should know the geography of Silent Hill better because of her profession. However, because of the darkness and thick fog that limits her field of vision, she is in a situation in which it is difficult to know even her current position. Nah, you can just look at the street signs. They just say, "Levin Street." Oh yeah, I'm here. I can look at the map and point at it with my finger. Easy. She had encountered a strange monster on her way to the school, so now she did not have much confidence in being able to find her way back to the cafe. The sky began to get light while Cybil walked and contemplated the route to the cafe. This made her think that perhaps time is rapidly passing in this town alone. I think time doesn't pass at all, it just changes and you're just doing this out of time, out of existence in a different realm. But okay. Although the fog was present as ever to decrease visibility, she could see a lot better now. And then, before she knew it, the cafe was right in front of her. Something isn't right. Cybil feels a sense of discord within her. However, her feet continued on as if guided by a strong power to the inside of the cafe. Cybil led Cheryl through the entrance of the cafe. The inside of the cafe had been ravaged. The glass windows facing the street were broken, and several tables were knocked on their sides, so Cybil could not move any further in. Oh my god. I wonder if Harry is alright. Red pool of liquid reflects vividly in Cybil's eyes. She prayed that it was not Harry's blood. Let's hope this is not Chris's blood. I mean, that's literally a monster in the pool of blood. Of course it's the monster's blood, but okay. Police officer doesn't know how to predict that it's the monster's blood. Okay. Harry, it's me. It's Cybil. I found Cheryl. If you are here, then please come out. There is no answer. Cybil had begun to step forward, but then gasped with an Just what is this? The corpse of a brown-colored monster that Cybil has never seen before lies in the center of the pool of the red liquid. Several shells were scattered about, which meant that Harry probably had a battle here. Since Harry was no longer here, she guessed that he defeated this monster and then left to search for Cheryl. Is he hurt? Cybil began to search the area, or she cautiously moved towards the monster. I don't care about the monster, he doesn't have anything, so I just search. Thinking that perhaps there was a memo, Cybil began to search with the counter. However, there did not appear to be anything there. You're lying. There is a save point there. Maybe Harry left here in a hurry after being attacked by the monster. I mean, why would he save his game after literally the first 5 minutes? Cybil looked at Cheryl. With the bloody scene in front of her, Cheryl was surprisingly calm. From time to time, she looked out the window as if she were concerned about something. Well, your daddy is not here. Let's look somewhere else. Cybil took Cheryl's hand and without a word they rushed out into the snowy street once again. Get bonked. Okay. Ding dong. Church bell is ringing. The bell rings forcefully, almost as if it had been waiting for them to leave the cafe. There are still other people here. Sybil's eyes glittered. This might be Harry's way of telling me where he is. And even if it is not Harry, there is still someone still here in this town. And then she would like to meet them and hear what they have to say. Sybil's feet naturally pointed toward the church. Expecting to find a clue to escaping and reuniting with Harry, she tightly gripped Cheryl's hand and began to run. Once they arrived at the church, the ringing stopped, and the large door at the entrance began to open from the inside. Cybil then thought of that perhaps someone had been watching her movements all this time. She looked up at the top of the church and then began to look around nervously until a voice saying, "This way," brought her back to her senses. And it's the exact same scene. Cybil faced the eerie woman from a distance. No, she's literally standing in front of her. The woman once more called out to Cybil, "This way." Cybil mysteriously moved toward the woman. Where is the one ringing that bell? The woman's face suddenly twisted and began laughing loudly. She saw Cybil's perplexed expression, but thought nothing of it and just waved her hand left and right in front of Cybil's face. It's John Cena. Do 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 do. Oh yeah, YouTube, please. This is not an ad. Please don't put this in the description. Thank you. YouTube likes to mention people when their names are said. Okay. I have been waiting for you. You have come just as I expected. Cybil cocked her head to the side. Do you live here? The woman nodded and then looked at Cheryl. You have done well to come here. You know, don't you, that it was my doing that caused... And you were hesitant to come alone, weren't you? But in the end, I was able to meet you. It is all thanks to that woman. I don't understand what you are talking about. Cybil's words may or may not have reached her, but that woman began to laugh. Loudly again. Hey, tell me, why are there no people here? Why are all the exits from 10 blocked? I do not know either, but shouldn't you be asking that girl instead? Cybil had a look of, what? on her face. She looked at Cheryl. Cheryl's face was tearful, and she shook her head, back and forth. Cybil looked back at that woman and shouted at her. Stop all this nonsense! We have been pursued by monsters and nearly killed. If I was not protecting this child, then who knows what would have happened to her by now. No, she's lying. The monsters don't attack her, she said so. They obey her commands. And the dog also didn't attack you, you're lying. The path of the wise man. The fool guided to this land through astrology. Everything has been preordained. There is nothing that I can do. You are not holding the child's hand. The child is holding yours. Okay. Her anger is showing. Her anger showing, Cybil went to open her mouth. But at that moment, the woman blocked her. I am Dahlia Gillespie. With that in hand, I wonder where you will end up going. I have nothing for you and nothing to tell you. You must escape from the demon's grasp as soon as possible. You must find the means to do so for your own sake. There is nothing I can do now. I will pray for your safety. Cybil Bennett. How does she know? Oh, she's an officer. It's written on her badge. Yeah, I guess. What? Okami? Sussy. Cybil was shocked to be called by name. I mean, it's not that surprising. You have Officer Bennett written on your thingy, so yeah. It's probably on the uniform too, yeah. As she watched Dahlia quickly depart, she was unable to speak. After Dahlia disappeared behind the door, Cybil regained herself. She tightly held Cheryl's hand and they left the church. Right after they left the church, Cheryl began to speak. Hey, miss. I am fine by myself now. This is not my first time coming here, and I have met that lady we just saw before. Cybil stops in surprise. What do you mean? I have a place that I want to go, but I can only go alone. If you are with me, I won't be able to go, and then something terrible is sure to happen. Something terrible? Why? Your daddy is looking for you. Until I get you back to your daddy, I cannot leave your side. You're wrong. My daddy must not find me. Someone is waiting for me. In order to meet that person, Cybil let out a short sigh. She snaps at and scolds Cheryl, or she kindly ad, I don't know what that means. I'm not trying to pronounce it. She is kind to her. Yes, she will be kind. She's not going to shout at the child. Hey, wait. Come on, Cheryl. Cybil made an effort to calmly, and Cheryl's speaking. You must have just had a bad dream or something. But something more frightening is actually occurring this town. Come on, please take my hand. Cheryl placed her small hand into Cybil's palm. I will protect you no matter what. So you're safe, okay? Once more, Cybil began to walk down the foggy street with Cheryl in tow. At first, Cheryl resisted holding Cybil's hand as hard as she could, but once she realized this was futile, she reluctantly followed along behind Cybil, while wiping away her tears. Why is she crying? I didn't shout at her, I was kind. Again, illusion of choice, just flavor text. Cheryl muttered something so that it could not be heard. Shabba 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 shabba, you stupid bitch. Let go or goodbye. Let's go or goodbye. Oh, yeah, let's go. I'm not leaving. We go together. Let's go. After walking for a bit, the two of them started to notice that the murmuring of water had begun to interfere with their conversation. Ah! Shirley stopped walking. Water was splashing up from the strong current in the old aqueduct through the white fog. Due to the bad weather, the water level had risen up to the fortified concrete embankment. So rather than an aqueduct, it was more like an overflowing river that was in a dangerous state. What's that? Ah, a boy or a girl is drowning. I mean, Cheryl is with me, so it doesn't matter who is there. Such options. Who should die? Let's just have a boy drowning, because that's for sure is nobody we should be knowing. The boy stood alone in the current. He was fighting the current and appeared to be holding on to a fragile protrusion with all his might. Miss, look! Cheryl's scream broke away from Cybil's hand and then began to run toward the boy. Cheryl, that's dangerous! Cybil instantly chased after her. A stone barrier runs parallel to the aqueduct. It is about shoulder width and about the height of a child. Okay, so I can jump in the water and rescue the kid. Falling to the right from this barrier could result in injury, and falling to the left would probably result in being swallowed up by the current. I will risk the injury then. Cheryl nimbly ran along the top of the narrow barrier. Wait, that's dangerous! Her words were ineffective. Using her innate physical prowess, Cybil got on top of the barrier. However, she could not run along it as nimbly as Cheryl. Okay, why is it important that she's strong when the child could go up there? Like, even if a child can, then she doesn't need to be strong. And why is she slower than the child? That means she's not very good at this. Whatever, don't overanalyze it. Just read. By the time Cybil caught up to Cheryl, she was lying prone on top of the barrier and reaching out toward the embankment, trying to grasp the boy's hair. Why his hair? His hand is better. Just grab his hand. That's dangerous. You will fall in. It's too much for you. You have to save this boy. Help me, miss, please. Cybil lightly jumps down onto the embankment side and is again surprised by the strength of the current. Cheryl is leaning out halfway and looks as if she could fall at any moment and be swallowed by the dark waters. Cheryl, you stay right here and don't move. I will be sure to save you. Cheryl says nothing and just stares at Cybil. Cybil's footing is quickly being eaten away by the strong current. As long as snow continues to pour into the entire town, the aqueduct will certainly continue to overflow. The water is up to Cybil's knees. As the water pulls at her legs, Cybil reaches her hand out toward the boy. The boy's face is covered in the white splashes, so Cybil cannot see it very well. Everything is alright, don't worry. Cybil shouts out to give the boy hope. But the boy just appears to be caught on the protrusion like a rag, and perhaps that is the best way to describe him. Cybil eventually grasps the boy's left arm and is relieved a little. Everything is fine, trust me, Cybil says kindly. However, the current of the water is faster than she had imagined. Pulling the boy against the current will not be easy. There is nowhere to grab on, so she cannot put any strength into it. The freezing cold is robbing her body of its warmth, and her fingertips are going numb. Miss, it is impossible. You two will be swept away by the current. Cheryl calls out to Cybil from behind. Cybil has a maternal feeling that she must save this boy, even if it means she will end up getting swept away. It will be okay. Just a little more. Got it. Cybil gets a firm grasp on the boy's arm, then successfully pulls his small body up. Huh. Great. Are you okay? The boy does not answer right away and just takes troubled breaths over and over. It is not surprising because he just nearly drowned. The boy remained crouched for a bit, but then finally began to speak. You were the one that pushed me in. From seeing the look of surprise on Cybil's face, the boy changed his words. Not you. Her! It was that child. Boy rushes at Cheryl. Before Cybil could even think to stop him, the boy grabbed Cheryl's arm and pulled her toward the... What a little shit. You shouldn't even have saved him. It's gonna push Cheryl. What are you doing? Stop it now. What do you know? Why don't you tell her to stop? Cheryl falls into the water and begins to be swept away by the strong current. I'm gonna kill a child. Just push him back in because he did this to her. Okay. Again, don't take this out of context, please, YouTube. Don't. Okay. She would have to question the boy later. Cybil stumbles as she runs along the concrete to keep up with Cheryl. Cheryl! Ah, Cybil's weak shouts were replaced by the sound of the water splashing. She slips and ends up in the whirlpool of the strong current, and is swallowed in the dark waters along with Cheryl. Everything is dark. There is not even a single sound. Cybil cannot tell whether her eyes are open or closed. The hand gripping Cybil's hand suddenly moved. I may have used you, miss. Cybil made a face like, what? And immediately asked, What are you saying? That's why I was against it. You're a good person, so I didn't want to get you wrapped up in this. But in the end, I have made you suffer. I guess that is the same thing as getting you involved. Cybil smiles. I have said it many times. It is my job to get your father's custody? What are you talking about? Oh, I misread it. I have to get you back into your father's custody. Okay. Getting me involved or whatnot is not the problem. You're wrong, miss. Silence flows between the two of them. As for what Daddy will do and so on, those are issues that do not even compare to what I am dealing with. My own personal issue. It's something I should never ever tell anyone. Something very, very important. I have thought about it for so long, I have been confused by it for so long. However, maybe I can tell you about it, miss. The reason why there is no one in town, the reason why I don't want to see my daddy, and also my true. Once again, there is silence. Your true? Your true what? Do you know something? However, that question is not answered. And then the low sound of the motor runs through the floor and then causes a slight quiver in Cybil's stomach. To her front, she only she's only a glimpse of a single shaft of light. The light the light thinly extends up and down, and eventually expands to the left and right, revealing a small room. It is an elevator. The elevator doors have opened wide, and it sits ready, almost as if it has come from for Cybil. Cybil and the girl are lit by its light. And then Cybil felt the grip of the girl that she was holding on to become weak. No, wait, an illusion. No, the two of us are definitely holding hands. Cybil looked toward the girl. Her entire body was paralyzed with a chill. Powerlessly, Cybil sank down in that very spot. Her vision is hazy. The entire color drains from her entire body. Yeah, the game is glitchy. It keeps disappearing text. The girl is not there in this light. The thing that Cybil is holding onto, it is... Cybil suppressed a shriek. It was a green jelly-like object, or it was a slightly dirty but familiar doll. I would much rather hold the hand of the rabbit from Silent Hill 3. Thank you. I don't want to hold the green goo. I am holding the hand of a doll. Oh, it's not Robbie the rabbit. It's okay, it's a doll, it's fine. It was a slightly dirty but familiar doll. Countless blue fireworks went off in front of Sybil's eyes. Memories of the past, unforgettable memories. Memories that should have been tightly sealed away within her. She was holding the doll tightly. Cybil had hidden in the closet, through the crack, a familiar scene. Her parents, shot in the head, and the blood-soaked carpet. The low laugh of a man. She held the doll over her mouth to suppress the urges to scream that assaulted her from time to time. And so, she had somehow survived. She had survived. Why is the doll from that time here? Why is it here? It was the reason she became a policewoman. That incident. That incident had largely impacted her future. Sorry. I'm just adjusting my camera. Just my model is freaking out from the lights. Hold on. Yeah, but I'm like twitching for no reason and I'm not even moving in real life, so I'm just... I don't like this. Give me a second, I just need to fix this because it annoys me. Really, really annoys me. I'm not doing anything and it keeps freaking out. Just give me a second, okay? I'm going to restart the app because it annoys me. It just annoys me to no end. I'm not doing anything and it keeps fucking moving. Natural light my ass. I'm going to turn on the actual lamp. Fucking hate natural light because it keeps flickering me. Okay, I'm going to roll an ad until I figure this out, okay? Sorry, technical issue. Testing, testing. Okay, it moves. Okay. Okay. It is fine. It's not that bad now. It's just it just keeps moving for some reason, but it's whatever. Apologies. Okay. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna have a mini seizure as the rest of the stream goes because my stupid app keeps doing this. It's either the light or the camera for some reason. I don't know. Let's just carry on. I'm not the main focus here. The story is. Okay. Uh, Sheriff was gone, and all that was left was the unpleasant feeling of the memories that she thought that she had forgotten. I'm losing my mind. She sobbed alone inside the elevator. The town, along with the lives of several people, had been swallowed up within the devil's dark garb. Inside the small box, she calmed her breathing while shaking her shoulders hard. First of all, I should look for Harry, and then work with him to escape from this wretched world. Quite, quite a bit of time passed since the one. I don't know what is that. Is it an I or is it an L or is it a one? It has to be a one. Okay. Since the first floor lamp had gone out from the floor display. From the vibration, she could tell that she was descending, but even still, this had gone on for too long. Staring at the display of B1. This is the hospital, isn't it? There are no more basements, just one, just B. There is no B1, just B. Okay, okay, just read. She had pushed her back against the wall and slumped. Is there something in the basement of this building? Deep in the ground? And if Cybil was brought here, then what was the reason? Eventually, the elevator begins to gradually slow its descent, and at the same time that it comes to a complete stop, the B1 lamp lights up, and then its doors open. Cybil duly felt this series of movements. Okay. With the doors open, the light that illuminates the passage that extends in front of her pours into the elevator. Hold on. I need to crack the window open. As Cybil begins to walk forward, it almost looks like that light is supporting her from behind. It is cold, although she is just walking down a corridor. That is like one in a jail. Cybil's heart beats irregularly. Eventually, a single door appears. That's a double door, but okay. The passage ends with this door. Perhaps all the mysteries of B1 will lie in this room. I didn't want to get you wrapped up in this. The voice of the girl flittered about on the back of Sybil's mind. What was that girl's goal? And where is Harry? Perhaps Harry has come here in the same manner as well. Or she had a feeling that by opening this door, any questions swirling about in her head would all be put to rest. Cybil summoned forth her courage and placed her hand on the door. Ah, it is hot. And Cybil immediately takes her hand off the knob. Something is burning beyond this door. It is impossible to open this door by hand. Just from touching the door, the palm of Cybil's hand stingingly hurts. She kicks the door with all her might. The hopeful feeling, she continues to kick the door over and over with the thick sole of her boot. Finally, the knob breaks, and the door forcefully opens inward. At the same time, Hot Wind sing whatever, it touches her hair. And then Cybil saw it. The room is about as large as a movie theater. Fire has spread all throughout, and it has begun to collapse. Beyond the debris and flames, a man is holding something to his chest and heading toward another exit in order to get out. And just as he reached the exit, vigorously burning flames lit the side of his face. It was unmistakably Harry or a random man. Okay, where is this place again? In the hospital? I don't remember a fire. Why would it? I don't remember. Let's say it's a random guy. Just to be Kaufman then. It is not Harry, it is a slightly plump, middle-aged... It's going to be him. That man is holding to what looks like a white paper bag to his chest and is running out of the room. Wait! Cybil screams. The man glances toward her, but continues rushing out. Cybil begins to run in order to chase him, but almost stumbles over to something and then stops in her tracks. So I think it doesn't matter who it is because I'm not gonna reach them and I have to chase them, blah blah blah. Probably one of those things. Someone is collapsed at her feet. A girl dressed in white clothing is... Are we skipping the entire thing and we are just at the boss fight? What about the amusement park? Okay. A girl dressed in white clothing is lying face down. Her back moves up and down along with her breathing. Cybil stops, kneels down and places her hand on the girl's shoulder. Are you okay? If you stay here, you will be burned to death. Hurry and get up. The girl just remains face down and does not even try to look up. Cybil forcefully lifts the girl's shoulders up, and then her face freezes. The girl is the one that she was just traveling with. So she recognizes the resemblance, but Harry didn't. His own daughter, he could not imagine her older, even though it's the same face. And he looked at the lass's face on the picture and in person and didn't recognize her. Okay, this random lady just recognized her. Okay. The girl's name suddenly rises up within her memory. Cheryl. Cheryl, why are you here? Cybil carries her small body and heads for the exit. But this is Alessa, clearly. Cheryl has suffered serious burns on her entire body. If they don't get out quickly, then not only Cheryl but Cybil as well will be burned too, as black smoke rises from Cheryl's white clothing. Somebody came in my room. The girl is just barely conscious, and her face is pale. Part of her hair is burned, and her right arm is red and swollen. Cybil sheds tears. The sounds of the explosions resound from all directions, and the floor shakes and rumbles. Cybil holds the burned girl close to protect her, and in order to save the faint life... Wait. And runs. In order to save the faint life in front of her, Cybil risks her own life. Cybil devotes herself completely to her current goal, and she considers this to be her duty. Cybil avoids debris as she heads towards the exit. At the same time, she thinks, the man she just saw, he seems to have just abandoned this girl. And if that is the case, Cybil finally arrives at the exit and places her foot at the wide staircase that extends in front of her, and then she races up it. From behind, the loudest explosion yet occurs. A sea of fire is just behind Cybil, and it's closing in on her. As she climbs the long staircase, Cybil has the goal of reaching the light coming from above the ground. Or perhaps she just senses that it is her last hope, so she runs stronger and faster up the stairs. Cybil glances down at Cheryl's face. The end. What? I think I took a turn that I should not have, because this is clearly not the canon ending. I think I was supposed to just choose goodbye and just split up. Because if I don't, then it just is. We never met Harry. Or I was supposed to choose that it's Harry at the end. Probably. Okay. I'm gonna let the credits play, and then we're gonna choose other options. Okay. I don't know what this ending was. We will see when the achievement pops. But yeah, my impression is that the game did not care about my options. I was not fighting the dog, and she kept insisting that the dog is evil, but it's not. Also, if I choose that it's not a boy in the water, that it's a girl, then who is in the water? Does Cheryl jump in the water for no reason or what? Because I think she is supposed to like walk on the water or something. That is what she tells Harry. When they meet, but we never met. Okay. Okay, give me a sec, and gonna check the achievement's name that I got. Achievement. There is no mistake, it is Harry. That's not true, I chose that it's not him. That's the wrong achievement. That's the wrong achievement. Okay. Usual, we're just gonna skip until the first choice or something. I think I can only after this. I have to skip until the crash. But it wasn't Harry, I chose that it was Kaufman. And the game... Either the game doesn't care or the achievement doesn't care. Hellfires shimmering in the darkness. The hellfire shimmering in the darkness. Elevator descending. The thing that Cybil was holding to was... I think it was this. It was... Okay, it was Harry. What happens? And it was unmistakably Harry. Harry! Sybil's voice was a scream. Without backing away, she ran into the room, which had become hell-like. A piece of rubble enveloped in flames fell in front of her. Yeah! Cybil had fallen back on her behind, but instantly stood up, moved around the obstacle, and proceeded further into the room. However, she had lost Harry. Harry! She once again yelled out his name. Someone is collapsed at her feet. Okay, I'm gonna skip it to skip because it's the exact same thing. I don't think it changes anything. Yep, I don't think it changes anything. So who cares if it's Harry or if it's not Harry? Nothing changed. Okay. This was ending A. Okay. I'm just gonna skip until I can look at the timeline. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna look at the stream. I took 1.5 hours to do the run, so it's much faster than Harry's. That one took me like 3 hours or something. And we are going to check the route I took. It goes down. So obviously the other route is up. So it doesn't matter what I say here. Okay. Ending A. I have to go back to the choice. I don't think it matters what I chose there. Right? I have to go back all the way to this one. Chapter 6. There is a choice here. The first one, it can go up in the middle. Then it keeps going, and it branches to 3 options. One of them is C1 and C2. Okay, so I'm going to do that one. What was it? It was chapter... At the end of chapter 6? No, it's the start of chapter 7. The start of chapter 7. Wait, that's literally just here. That's just right here. Together with Shirley's muttering. Yes, I called it. I have to say goodbye. Goodbye. Cybil and Cheryl wandered the town, literally with no destination. Their cheeks were numb, Sussy, so they no longer even felt the cold pelting of the snow. From time to time, Cybil would look back to check on Cheryl. The girl just followed Cybil with her head down. Are you hungry? She asked this because she thought Cheryl might be sulking. But Cheryl just muttered, I'm fine. After walking for a bit, the girl suddenly stopped. I'm tired. Sybil's strength had begun to fade, so she thought that this could be the case with Cheryl as well. I must not compare my body with Cheryl's small one. The two of them sat down on a bench on the sidewalk. Thanks to the nearby tree towering above the bench, the snow could no longer fall directly on them. As soon as Cheryl sat down on the bench, she fell asleep. She is probably very tired from all the uncertainty and stress. Oh, your EP, Okami. I don't know how long this will last. Probably like an hour or something. I have no idea, I'm just guessing. But if you have to go eat, then go ahead. You can watch the VOD. It's okay. Cybil held the girl's body close so that she would not freeze, or she looked for a building to rest in. If I leave her, then she is gonna leave me. But if I stay with her, maybe she runs away, or maybe she still stays here. I don't have a clue. Maybe I think this is just flavor text. This is literally just flavor text. Okay, I'm gonna give her a hug. She holds the girl's shoulders close, and while stroking her head, Cybil is struck with the feeling that the warmth is being absorbed out of her. It's almost like she's actually just a ghost. She's sucking out her life energy. Sudden sleepiness. Even though we are out of the snow at this rate, we'll freeze to death. If a human's body's temperature drops below 98.6 Fahrenheit, then they will fall into dangerous state. I don't know how much that is in Celsius. I'm gonna have to look up. I have no idea. 98.6 F2C. What? If the human's temperature drops below 98.6. No, you're a fucking liar. That's 37 Celsius. That's fever. She's lying. She's lying, or she got her facts wrong. Even if the ambient temperature does not drop below freezing, a human can still freeze to death. Okay, give me a second. Yeah, this is literally a fever. Why did she say that? She's stupid? Whatever. However, even though she knew this, Cybil's body was gradually diffusing her will, becoming one with the hard wood of the bench, and getting heavier. Cheryl is awake. Even though her eyes are closed, from the expression on her face, it looks like she's staring at me. Why is she saying that out loud? Like sinking to the bottom of the ocean. Cybil's consciousness grows distant. My body feels weird. My body feels weird. My body feels weird. My body feels weird. Something, I don't know what, but something evil is here. Somewhere inside me. Ayo? Beginning to make a nest. One cell at a time, beginning to consume me. And yet it doesn't hurt. My body is on fire. My body is on fire. My eyes feel like they are going to melt. My eyes hurt. My eyes are on fire. Laughing coming from my stomach. Oh, pregnant. A slightly dirty doll. Where are my parents? Have they already escaped? Since when? Why here? A wheelchair? Something, I don't know what, but something evil is here, somewhere inside me, beginning to make a nest, one cell at a time, beginning to consume me, and yet it doesn't hurt. My body is on fire. My body is on fire. It feels like fire is going to shoot from my eyes. My eyes hurt. My eyes are on fire. Laughing, coming from my stomach. A slightly dirty doll. Where are my parents? Have they already escaped? Since when? Why here? I am sitting in a wheelchair. A roar. A dark sky. Something is spinning. He has come. Ayo? To me. That man's name is... He said it was Harry. Definitely Harry. It's what he said it was. My hand is on my hip. Hard. Cold. I tried taking it out. Sussy. Is this how I hold it? Sussy. Shoot. Please shoot. The man in front of you. If I destroy him. Oh, okay. This is the boss fight when we fight each other and she's barely conscious of the whole thing. It was a merry-go-round. If I thought that many eyes are watching, if I pull the trigger, something seems to have torn the man's flesh. Wait, please wait, I must not shoot that man. In this world, he is my only friend. Send me back to the lobby. I can no longer control myself. My body is acting on its own. Kill him. Kill. You must kill him. Something small has passed through me. It doesn't hurt. It hurts. My clothes are soaked. I will die. Protect the girl. I fall to the ground. I bounce once and cannot move. Is this my body? Why? I cannot control it. Some small creature. It got inside me at some time. It bites through my belly and leaves me. In my fading consciousness, I can see Harry shaking me. Harry has stopped moving. He looks at me and weeps. Then he begins to move towards something off in the distance that looks like a dimly shining girl. I am okay. I can still move. The thing that came out of me is heading for its next target. And I know who that will be. If I cannot let Harry know this, then something horrible will happen. But I cannot speak. It is because a bullet went through the side of my lung. So I cannot put any power into my voice. Harry has begun to run. I am not yet dead, but he thinks that I am. Even if I must crawl, I must move on. Cheryl is in danger. I must get there first. Harry will get there soon enough. But I must get there before then, and I must stop him. Cybil somehow manages to stand up, but staggers and falls back down onto the floor. However, she decides to summon the last of her strength in order to save the girl that she was moving with for a bit, Cheryl. She stands up again, and her entire body is beset with severe pain. But Cybil does not fall down. She presses her left hand to her chest and begins to walk with great effort. She follows the trail of the evil creature that came out of her and escapes from the amusement park through the open door of a garage dump. I don't think this happened. Harry stomps on the creature when it comes off. But okay. A long staircase to the basement. Just where does it lead to? She rests her hand on the wall and from time to time squats down where she is standing as she continues forward via her strong will. Eventually, a long corridor appears in front of her. The passage spreads out like a blood vessel of the Thames underground. Who could have made this? Am I being led somewhere? It's too late. My legs are unsteady and color is disappearing from my view. A monochrome underground passage, and from time to time a storm of mixed noise. A warm breeze ruffles Sybil's blonde hair. Somewhere far off at the end of this passage, something is burning. It's dangerous, however. It's because it is dangerous that Cybil must all the more face it. The girl is being held prisoner. Up to this point, Cybil did not notice a single signal from the girl that she was with, and for this reason she is angry with herself. When did I run into that small monster? At the school, the cafe, or the bench? I tried to kill Harry. What of the unseen force that tried to make me stop him? It's hot. The basement is shaking. Is it an earthquake or... Oh, is it an earthquake or is Cybil hallucinating? An explosion. Light flashes from the front, and at the same time her cheeks become covered in heat. Ayo? It is close. Not far now. Something is happening. The door at the end of the passage is slightly open. If I can get in there. Cybil thinks, I can still make it in time. I've got to hurry. Wait, I should go in there. Things will happen as they will. Hold on. I'm gonna press this and this. Chapter 8. Chapter 8. I have 3 choices here. Yeah, I think this is the last part, so I have to choose stuff, but 2 of them are the same thing. And one of them is different. Okay, I can still make it in there. I've got to hurry. Someone is in there. I sense them. I have made it here. I can still make it in time. Cybil collapses. With just only a bit further to go, Cybil realizes that she's not breathing. The oxygen is that her skin is burned to ash by the flames. Cybil crawls. She continues to crawl, and when she finally reaches the door, a man is in the center of the room. An unfamiliar girl is passing something to Harry. The scene fills Cybil's eyes. Harry holds something dearly at his chest. It is a baby. Harry holds it as if it is his own, or maybe he's thinking of it as Cheryl. He smiles a bit. It will go on forever. It's a mistake. Perhaps Cybil was the only one to realize this. He must not accept that baby. It will go on forever, with the spinning of the world and time. The baby represents the beginning. It is a devil. Look into its eyes and you can tell. Look closely into its eyes, Harry. The baby's eyes are... Cybil was unable to convey this to him. She could not even move, much less speak. The nightmare will begin again. A nightmare that cannot be stopped, even when it is known to be a nightmare. Cybil is headed to her death. Her vitality is rapidly fading. The world is ending. Looking at it subjectively, the act of one's body dying is the same as the world dying. No. Okay, whatever. Okay. When their 5 senses no longer provide information, humans know the end of the world. The world is within the self and also part of the self. However, when Cybil lost consciousness for the last time, she knew a completely different truth than what she was expecting. The end. Okay, so she understood that the baby was Elessa reborn, and to stop this cycle and to stop Silent Hill 3 from happening, the baby must not be accepted. How would she know this? She would just have a feeling. Whatever. She just knows. She's too smart. From the ending to the beginning. Okay. She's too smart. But maybe not smart enough because she died. But that's on Harry for not having the stupid potion. Okay. So we're gonna skip it until I can make a time travel back to the ending. Because if I choose the other option, I get a different ending. We go to the end. Yep, this was the thing that I got. And here, she thinks, I can still make it, I got to hurry. No, I will not use that. Should I go in there? Or things will happen as they will. I'm gonna choose C. At any rate, I should go. If I stay here, I will be burned to death. Cybil continues forward while breathing feebly. As Cybil finally reaches the door, a man in the center of the room, an unfamiliar girl, is passing something to Harry. The scene fills Cybil's eyes. He smiles. Is this the same thing? Cybil staggers towards Harry. Harry is just beyond her extended left arm. Look closely at its eyes, Harry. At the baby's eyes, is what she had planned to say, but all that came from her mouth were unintelligible shrieks. Once Harry takes notice of Cybil, he is surprised, places the baby at his feet, and walks over to Cybil. Harry, listen, that baby is... Harry takes the handgun from his hip. I thought I'd killed you, but yet you are still alive. No, I am Cybil, a real person. Even though I cannot speak, even though I have been shot in the chest, even though one of my arms is burning, I am still alive. Bang. Cybil hears the familiar sound of gunfire. At the same time, she felt a severe impact on her forehead. Only vivid red suddenly returned to what had been a monochrome blood. There is no strength in her body. Her body falls like a doll's and her broken face forcefully hits the ground with a smash. But she's on her back, not the face. Whatever. I can see Harry. He's walking this way. Behind him I see a baby. He's looking at me. Eddie gently closes Sybil's eyes with the palm of his hand. That was his final consideration for her. The world is ending. Same. Okay. So I got murdered by the bloodthirsty Harry. Wait, I didn't get anything else. So when I have the ABC choice, Oh, I'm supposed to choose B. Of course, I'm supposed to choose B. The one option I did not choose. So yeah, I'm just looking at the map. It's completely like un spoiler free. Like it's spoiler free. It just has like numbers and signs and colors. So I just know like that there are options and each chapters, but I don't know what they mean. So yeah, it's a spoiler free map. It's like literally pressing the map button in here. Like this. I just see this. I just see the name of the chapters and the options. But like no description. So I chose A, I chose C, and B should be in the middle, apparently. Okay, wait, should I go in there? Should I go? Someone is trying to kill me. I must not go. I must obey, I will stop. I have now realized that this is madness. No, this is Sparta. Cybil crumbles in the spot where she was standing. Flames burn through her clothes, and then they jump to Cybil's body. It's hot, but she can no longer move. The entire passage that Cybil is in is enveloped in flames. She does not even know any way to get out. There is not even a place for her consciousness. The next day, in an article from Brahms Region paper, early this morning, a burned corpse that is thought to be a woman's was discovered on a pit in the North Brahms forest. The body has severe external injuries, and parts of it were reduced completely to ash. It appears that identification of the body will take quite some time. Additionally, in the area around the body, there was no sign of fire and no trace of gasoline, kerosene, or other oil-based substances. For this reason, the Brahms Police Department is hurrying to identify the body and has launched a full-scale investigation into the cause of death. It's a spontaneous combustion. Oop. If I think it over. Oh well. So she died in all of her endings so far. Um. Right. Let me check. There is B1, B2, B3. Okay. So before I do that, I'm gonna need a small break. Okay, just a very short one. Okay. Be right back. Okay, I have returned. Okay, so I'm gonna look at the map. The three endings, B, 1, 2, 3. So there are three variations of the same path. Um, okay, so to get to the B ending, I have to go all the way back to chapter 2 and choose the option that leads me to the up road because I took the down road. And it doesn't matter what I choose because each option gives me a different ending, so I can just do whatever I want and then go for the other options. Sounds good. But again, this means this could take me like an hour because it's a full different story that I have to read through. Skip it, skip it, skip. I think the first chapter is just the intro anyway, no? Yeah. The first choice gives me two options that are flavor text, then there is something that's the same. Then I have a flavor text, and then the choice, the second choice. The second choice is what matters. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I let him wake up. Cybil was relieved to know that she was not the only person in the town. She sat down at the counter and waited for the man to awaken. After a bit, Cybil thought that the man's breathing had become troubled, as she thought this. He forcefully sat up. Okay. Cybil moved over to the man until she was able to look down at him and folded her arms. She was relieved. That was how she honestly felt. It looks like you have come around. Who are you? The man asked this while heavily shaking his head. I'm Cybil Bennett. All communication with this town suddenly went dead. This worried me, so I came here to investigate. I'm Harry Mason. I brought my daughter to this town for some sightseeing. But on the way, there was an accident and I lost consciousness. Oh yeah, Cybil, you haven't seen a little girl in this town, have you? A little girl? For a moment, Cybil could not hide her astonishment, but then, because of her profession, she quickly feigned a more resolute attitude. Why is she so surprised that there is a child here? A little girl? No, I haven't seen her. Uh, when I came to after the accident, my daughter was nowhere to be seen. The passenger door was open and she was gone. Cheryl, oh sorry, my daughter's name is Cheryl, so she's a timid child, so it's hard to imagine that she headed out into this weird town alone. I was there in the driver's seat, and since she gave me no warning, it just doesn't make sense. Are you familiar with this area? There is no sign of anyone. And what is going on with the snow at this time of year? Just what in the world has happened in this town? Harry spoke while sighing. I'm afraid I don't know either. I still haven't seen anyone other than you. It's like the town is as silent as a graveyard, left without even the means to contact any neighboring towns. Ah, I see. Uh, so you also had an accident? I thought it was a good idea to head to the police station and to stand alone on my motorcycle, but I guess I was going a little too fast. A girl suddenly jumped out into the road. I am pretty sure it was a girl. I almost hit her. I got the handbars hard in order to avoid her. After that, I can barely remember anything. When I came to, I was lying in the street in front of this cafe. So naturally I came in here to get out of the snow, and then I found you sleeping there. I was having some kind of terrible dream. As for if I made it here on my own, I don't remember at all. Just what in the world has happened in this town? What is going on with everything? Well, the situation is definitely strange. I will head back to Brahms for reinforcements and then return here. How about you? Cybil stood and fixed her collar with resolute fortitude. I've got to look for Cheryl. There is no way I can just leave her here alone. I see. Well, I'll give you this then. You never know what might happen under these circumstances. If you feel threatened, then pull the trigger without hesitating. She gives Harry a handgun loaded with live ammunition. But, you will be fine, right? Will you be alright? Harry asks worriedly. I'm not like the average girls around here. I have undergone the proper training. Cybil placed her hand on the exit door, but then she turned and faced Harry again. Harry, don't go shooting me by mistake or anything. I haven't had any training on how to stop bullets. She smiled after saying this, opened the door of the cafe, and then headed out into the thick fog. Okay. Cybil looks back and sees that the cafe has disappeared into the fog. Having lost her motorcycle, Cybil can only wander on foot alone in the eerie town. It's too quiet. There is no sense of anyone at all. I would like to hail a taxi or something, but there is not a single car running. At some point, Cybil had begun to run. Above all, she must get out of Silent Hill. However, after running for a bit, Cybil's hopes were crushed. Yes. I'm gonna skip until the first. Yes, the diggy dog. Okay, so the dog actually attacked me, okay? Rawr! Yeah! Cybil just manages to duck in time and the fierce monster passes over her head. It continues forward just a little bit and then turns around. It is clear that it is coming after Cybil. Cybil places her hand on her belt to draw her handgun, but she utters, "Oh!" She just had given her handgun to Harry not long ago. She went pale. Cybil forcefully stands up and begins to run with all her strength. The sound of the monster's footsteps and its panting close in on her as it persistently chases from her behind. Chases her from behind. She stomps on the pavement as she moves forward. In the corner of her eye, Cybil sees buildings appear out of and disappear into the fog. At some point, she ends up losing her bearings and becomes unsure of her location. She then notices that she no longer senses the presence of the monster. She stops and leans against an antique lamppost and presses on her chest. She waits as the time between her continuous white breaths gradually increases and begins walking again. She calms herself or overcomes with hopelessness. So, I was calm the first time, so I am going to actually panic. Being unable to escape from Silent Hill, Cybil then worried about what she should do next. Since all the people have vanished, she cannot even talk to anyone about what is happening here. I should look for the police station. Even if the person I was talking on the phone with earlier isn't there, I might be able to get some other information there. She has visited this town many times. Following the thread of memory, she begins walking along the complicated intersecting streets. So she skips the school, right? Just how long have I been walking? As she saw the word police appear from the fog, her entire body was completely exhausted. She opens the glass door at the entrance and heads inside. As she does this, she sees that no one is here. which is just as she had expected. The lack of any sound is painful to her ears. After she walked around the reception area for a bit, she moved toward the room that door had been left open for. Plate, the plate beside the door says meeting room. Compared to the same room at the Brum station, this one is quite small. She looked around the room. Clunk! At the same time Cybil entered the room, one of the disorderly arranged folding chairs moved quite a bit. She readied herself. Who's there? Oh. A man jumped up right away and pointed a black handgun at Cybil. The man lowers his gun or fires. Okay, do I want her to get killed already? That would be funny. Like, really, really funny. What chapter is this? Chapter 3. Chapter 3. Uh... Yeah, it doesn't matter what I choose. Okay, Harry tries to shoot me, but he's a noob and he misses. She... The bullet... Bang! The bullet grazes Sybil's temple and impacts on the wall of the meeting room. Shocked, Sybil sank to the floor. Cybil! All the color has drained out of the face of the man that is standing in front of the still unable to speak Cybil. That's a very weird sentence. It was unmistakable, it was Harry. Oh, sorry. Are you alright? I was shocked. If you had just been a little more, then you would have hit me. Harry sighs deeply. I've done an unforgivable thing. I have encountered monsters up till now. I ran in here to get away. I was sure that the monsters had come in. Cybil thought, please don't mistake me for a monster. At any rate, I wondered if maybe someone might be here, so I came in to check it out. As you can see, things are like this. The inside of the station was ominously silent. Even if the other officers were here, since there are monsters running loose outside, there is no reason for the two of them to just relax and warm up in the station. Let's look somewhere else. There should be a church just over the river. No. The church is before the river, but the police station is over the river. Oh, okay, so they went... The bridge is not up, the bridge is down. They went through to check the police, but they come back to go back to the other side, the west side, to check out the church. A bit weird, but okay. There should be a church. Maybe there is maybe she's in custody there. Okay. After muttering this, Harry holds the gun out to Cybil as if he has realized something. I will give this back to you. I have had a few opportunities to use it, but this seems more suited to you. Harry says this and readies the long steel pipe that he picked up somewhere. Thank you, Harry. You can just go bonk stick. I see, but you would be better off just getting used to using it. Harry has a sorrowful look on his face. Cybil gives him a contemptuous glance and then a smile appears on her face. Then she runs out of the station. On the way to the church, Harry tells Cybil about the events that occurred in the cafe while running out of breath. Indeed, something is wrong here. I was glad to have received the handgun from you. Surely it doesn't have any weapons. And she's just a little girl. Hoping the sheriff would be at the church, Cybil carefully ran over the slippery asphalt. They opened the heavy door of the church. The space inside is wrapped in warm coolness. It projects a very solemn feeling. No churchgoers are present on any of the long benches which have been arranged facing the cross in front. Perhaps no one is here. Thinking this, the two of them move further in. Eventually, they notice the woman planted on a simple chair above the altar. You are too late. The woman mutters at this and stands. You are too late. The girl that you are looking for just left here. The color of Harry's face changes. Cheryl? Was it Cheryl? She's a 7-year-old girl with black hair. The woman at the altar puts one hand up to silence Harry. Even without saying this, you would understand, but I will tell you this much. The two of you will never see that girl again. My predictions are often correct. That girl knows what you are planning, yes. She will head toward her goal without being found by you. She is just a young girl. She came to this town and then went missing. If she did come here, then why did you let her go alone? Oh, it was Cybil. She screamed at the woman. Oh dear, such words. I have no obligation or reason to protect the child. And also, she stops speaking and then comes down from the altar. She was not alone. My daughter is with her. Cybil frowned. Your daughter? If those girls happen to be separated, then it would be certainly a pity. What is more, my daughter would more surely not remain silent. Harry began to speak as if the floodgates had just been opened. What are you getting at? I am Cheryl's guardian. I have a responsibility to protect her. Tell me where she is going. The hospital. But it is useless to follow after them. If you do not want to die, then you must leave this place. Oh, by the way, I am Dahlia Gillespie. If you do not wish to increase the number of corpses, then do not disturb those girls, yes? Before Dahlia finished speaking, Harry ran out of the church. Harry, wait! Cybil prepares to chase after him and looks back at Dahlia. She was there trying to suppress a laugh. All Cybil saw was Dahlia's unsightly backside. Okay. In order to resurrect myself, I will need your body. Please understand this. I understand. That is why I came here, and I came to see you. To think of the 7 years I never once was able to get out of bed and couldn't even move. However, everything is going according to plan, and I was able to be reunited with you. But they will come after us. What should we do? Let me take care of everything. Once Sybil caught up to Harry, he was having a difficult time breathing. You alright? That woman, Dahlia or something. Harry placed one hand on his chest, stopped in the street, and placed his other hand on a car. I don't know for sure, but I have a feeling that that wasn't the first time that I met that woman. Long ago, I think I met her somewhere. Harry says this and begins coughing. Harry, you don't look so good. Cybil, the air seems to have gotten thin here or something. I have to deal with it. Harry. Harry begins to talk again, or he keeps coughing violently. I just want him to talk. Why did his character model disappear? Oh, I know. Because this picture is just a background and his model is an actual overlaid image that is supposed to be there. Well, it's alright. Town in which snow is falling. The name Dahlia and her daughter is with my daughter. The fact that they are together, lifts his head and looks at Cybil. There is something that I think I know, but it's on the tip of my tongue, but I cannot remember it. Cybil softly places her hand on Harry's shoulder. You're tired, Harry. Let's rest for a bit. Harry brushes Sybil's hand away and then begins walking while pressing one hand on his chest. Harry. Sybil once again follows behind Harry's frozen back. Unable to make out the letters on an old signboard, Sybil tries squinting. Alchemiller Hospital is written in faded paint. In this building, Shirley and Dahlia's daughter are in here. Oh, Shirley and Dahlia's daughter are in here? Hospital looks like ruins and an eeriness is present that makes one hesitant to even step inside. Sybil just happens to notice an object that looks like a pedestal next to the door. On top of it, plates of 4 different colors have been placed. Sybil reads the message inscribed on the pedestal aloud. The chosen ones must be moved to the chosen place. Once the task is complete, the guidepost leading to chaos shall appear. Use the L and R buttons to select the plate. It's a puzzle. Use the D-pad to move. Okay, one sec. I'm gonna check the map. Chapter 5. Okay. I'm gonna chapter 5. According to this guy, the fork appears in chapter 7 that decides my endings. Okay. So it's not that much more. Oh, this isn't supposed to be here yet. What? Oh, okay. I just have to overlay them, no? Move! You fucker. Okay. Harry opened the door. Although they came as they told, inside the whole. Why was this at the main entrance? This is supposed to be at the something something room upstairs. Whatever. Inside the hospital. Also, it was supposed to be in like the nightmare version, I think. Inside the hospital, it is dark, and it seems that if one does not walk carefully, then they would stumble. Pictures hanging on the walls, withered plants on the receptionist's desk, and other furnishings can be faintly seen. Is your daughter really in this place? I don't know, but we all we can do is trust that woman from before. We don't have any other clues. Harry spoke, not expecting a reply. He slowly turned the knob of a nearby door. It appears to be locked. He lets out a long sigh. Wait, Harry, let's split up and search. I will start from the top floor and search heading down. You start from the bottom. Then we will meet up in the middle. That way we won't lose each other. Harry looked woeful. Sorry, I wish there was something I could do to thank you. Once you find your daughter, then you can take me out to dinner or something. Cybil smiled brightly. Riz. Cybil immediately began to run toward the wall at the end of the corridor. Once she arrived on the third floor, which should be the top floor of the building, she caught her breath and began to search for the girl. Okay, but the second and third floor are supposed to be locked, so the lift would take you to the secret fourth floor, right? So why is she on the third one? Cybil begins to walk along the concrete wall that is dimly lit by the outside light. Several doors are on the left and right of the passage. Each door has a 3-digit number plate on it, and without even looking inside, she can tell that they are hospital rooms. Cheryl. Oh, Cheryl, if you're there, come out. Your daddy is looking for you. Sybil's voice just echoes and then fades into the air. She places her hand on the knob of one of the doors and turns it. It appears to be locked. Maybe Shelley's in one of the rooms and locked it from the inside. But if her voice cannot reach her, just how should I search for Cheryl? That's it. She thinks of something. If I use the key or if I use the intercom. I use a key. Where did I get it though? I don't know, but if I have a key, I'm gonna use it. The key. The key to the hospital room should be at the reception area. Then I can open the doors and I can search each room for her. Oh, she doesn't even have a key, she just assumes that there is one. Realize this after coming up to the third floor. Oh, silly. She races back down the stairs that she just ran up in order to return to the first floor. Stairs? There are no stairs, there is only a lift. On her way down the stairs, she heard footsteps as she was passing the second floor. Harry? The second floor is the same as the third. There is a central corridor with doors lined up on both walls. Harry? Is that Harry? There is a large window at the end of the hall, white light from the foggy outside reflecting off the floor. Without realizing it, Sybil squinted. But someone is standing in front of the window. From the shape of outline of the human visible to the darkness, Sybil can tell that it is not Harry. It looks like a girl. Sybil just stared at the figure and was unable to move for a bit. Just like a frog being stared down by a snake, all her movements were sealed. Cheryl? Who knows how long it was before she said that? The girl did not answer and began moving towards Sybil as if she was gliding. Slowly, she continued moving towards Sybil. Eventually, the girl twisted her body and jerked her right hand. She made her hand into a fist, created a large bullet out of light, and then looked at Sybil. Watch out! Oh, watch out! Sybil, get down! It is Harry's voice. At the moment Sybil drops down, the bullet of light slices through the air and impacts into something behind her. Dude, that was literally a Yu Yu Hakusho moment. She just used the ray gun. Well, that takes care of one of them. Wait, he dies? What the fuck? The girl vanishes. Sybil turns and sees Harry laying face down and holding his hand to his chest. She just shot him with a ray gun. What the hell? He's dead. Harry! He is struggling as hard as he can to reach his hand out to Cybil. Cybil rushes over to him and sits him up. Harry! I thought that something was wrong by the time I realized. Too late. Harry, don't talk. Harry's body becomes heavy. Cybil, I'm done for. Please, won't you help Cheryl? That girl from before? That wasn't Cheryl, was it? That that was Harry. Hold on, Harry. He stops moving or talks about the girl or open his eyes wide. I think this is just he just skips his dialogue and this he just talks and this is probably the same as this one, but he looks at me. Just tell me. That girl was not Cheryl. Harry then begins coughing, and at the same time the red liquid spatters about. Harry, don't talk anymore. Harry is crying. That was not Cheryl at all. His words seem to have something like a desire embedded somewhere within them. Harry? Harry! Harry did not speak or respond again. Cybil, who had been unable to accept the incomprehensible events that had occurred around her up to this point, was unable to believe that the man in front of her was dead. The wind seemed to be blowing outside. Cybil stared at her hands, which had become covered with blood. Instead of trying to wipe them off, she firmly grasped her handgun. Something like a kind of resolution arose in Cybil's stern look. Cheryl, I must find her and then take her home. Home where? Her dad just died. There is no home anymore. She's an orphan. Just who was the girl? Cheryl? Or what? Was it that woman's daughter? Are you stupid? He just told you it wasn't Cheryl. You're stupid. Concerning the incidents that have occurred in this town, no, they cannot be called incidents, but instead, concerning this situation, I have not found one piece on conclusive evidence that irritates me. She's a yapper. And there is uneasiness about the loss of my only partner. She must be frightened somewhere, Cheryl, that ear figure of the girl. Several feelings of discontent run throughout Cybil's mind. That Dahlia might know something. However, destination that she indicated is this place. Rather than returning to the church, it would be best to search here. Cybil had returned to the first floor to get the key to the hospital rooms, but then she noticed the door that had been left open. Creak, creak. The door sways on its hinges as a result of the wind blowing from somewhere. This draws Cybil's attention, and she moves toward the door. This door was unmistakably locked and not open just before. Cybil looks in the doorway and at the same time gasps. Ah! There is a staircase leading to the basement, or there is a blinding light, and she covers her eyes in reaction. What chapter is this? 8? It's chapter 8. Chapter 8 choice. Ah, it's an ending. Doesn't matter which one I choose. Both of them are ending. Okay. There is a light and she covers her eyes. The blinding light falls all over Cybil's body. Cybil lost her ability to see instantly and had no idea whether her eyes were opened or closed. This picture is from the ending where she survives. I guess reusing assets. As Cybil's sight finally began to return to her, she felt the wind on her skin. From these two senses, she could tell that she was now outside. She doesn't sense any people. The chirping of birds, a nostalgic scent. In front of her, an area of flower beds spreads out. It is a scene that she has seen somewhere before. Cybil begins to walk. And then, at some point, she began to run. She passes through the trees, and once she climbed a small hill, her field of vision once again expanded. There is a cemetery. Cybil finally remembers. This is the place where her grandparents are resting. When she was young, her parents often brought her here. Next to her grandparents' graves, many people in black have gathered. The sobbing of the people dressed in mourning clothes can be heard. Everyone is familiar. Her mother and father, her 3-year younger sister. What's wrong? Did something happen? None of them answer. Wait, is that her own grave? Probably. The police chief of Brahms, fellow officers, and Sally. Hey, Sally, who passed away? None of them answer. The sacred ceremony is proceeding without delay. A magnificent casket is brought out by several men, and then it is gently lowered into a hole that was prepared in advance. Yep, that's her name. I can tell. I can read it from here. I can read it from the background. It's her name. Sally is whispering to Cybil's mother in a low voice. I told her just think about what might happen. I recommended that she uses a car for transportation. When pulling over violators, many accidents have happened. I just cannot believe that this could have happened to her. Sally says this and then falls silent. What are you saying? I am right here. Notice me. Notice me, senpai. Cybil tries as hard as she can to try and make someone notice her, but no matter what she does, no one does. Her name has been engraved on the tombstone. Am I dead? Am I dead? Someone tell me. Between the people dressed in black, there is a girl wearing a white one-piece dress. Standing on the dark green grass, only half visible. She is just a figure, and only half of her face can be seen, but it is a familiar one. Everything becomes bathed in white. The girl's face sways as if it were floating in the air, and then the girl softly calls Cybil's name. Before long, nothing else appeared in Cybil's eyes. Yep. She's dead. Well, we are almost out. 2 more endings. This was a nostalgic scent. Sniffer? Okay. Skippity, skippity, skip, skip, skip. We're gonna skippity, skippity, skip, skip, skip. We have to skippity, skip, 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 skip. But yeah, her story is not as long as Harry's. And she doesn't have that many endings, so it's way faster. So it's the top. It's the top. And I chose a scent. I have to come here and choose the other option. I go to the basement. There was not a room there. Just inside the doorway there was a staircase leading to the basement. It is not lit, so from her position, Cybil cannot judge how far down it goes. Upon first glance, Cybil senses that this door was not opened by Harry. From the inside, someone came up the stairs, and then she became sure of this. There is a large blood stain on the knob on the inside of the door. Cybil descends the long staircase while keeping one hand on the wall. For some reason, did someone make this? For what reason did someone make this? This staircase leading to the bowels of the earth, extending down from the first floor of what seemed like a normal hospital. She's paying very close attention to make sure not to lose her step. She gets the feeling that she has been descending for quite a long time. Suddenly, the staircase ends and flat ground is then under her feet. Cybil almost tripped without realizing it. It is hot. Somewhere something is burning. To her front, far off in front of her, a small red light can be seen. The red light is swaying. It wriggles like a hand waving someone to come forth. After the chilly lobby, the heat is unimaginable. The extraordinary heat feels almost as if magma from within the earth has arisen. And because of it, Cybil has to bend down as she walks from time to time. That room is not far now. Cybil's sleeves have caught fire. The fire is gradually spreading around her footing, and Cybil's entire body is engulfed in flames. She may or may not have realized this. Cybil continues forward. As she entered the room, she noticed two people, Dahlia and the girl dressed in blue. The two of them are facing each other amongst the blazing flames, staring at each other's expressions. When the two of them notice Cybil's presence, they turn to face her. Dahlia looks surprised and the girl looks calm. Their expressions are in great contrast to each other. Not a single word was spoken. Cybil approaches the two, reads something in the eyes of the girl, pulls her gun from a pocket, and then places the muzzle against Dahlia's forehead? Huh? When she came to, Cybil was sleeping on a small bench in the cafe. Cheryl is standing next to her, gazing out the window at the steadily falling snow. Bike is waiting outside of the cafe for Cybil. Its engine is running. Cheryl smiles brightly at Cybil, opens the door of the cafe, and disappears into the fog. Cybil runs out after her. The end. Boop. Okay, one more to go. Boop. Okay. Gonna skip it, skip. This is the last ending I still need to do. So yeah. So it took us around 3 hours to finish this. Not bad. Okay. Let's see. I am missing B3. The B3 ending. I need to go to chapter 7. Okay. What's this? Chapter 7. Figure of the girl. Harry talks about. Harry dies. Chapter 7. The first choice. Is this the first choice? It is. Figure of girl. Footsteps. um. Okay. Um. I chose that he talks. That was B. Apparently, I'm supposed to choose C because A and B are the exact same thing. So choose C. Opens his eyes. Harry calls for the last of his strength and opens his eyes wide. Hold on. This one? No. This one. Harry calls for the last of his strength and opens his eyes wide. Cybil, look out! The dim corridor is lit with blindingly bright light, and Sybil's shadow extends forward. Cybil turns and notices the girl has another bullet of light in her hand. Stop it, Cheryl, no more! Summoning the last of his strength, Harry crawls toward the girl, and when he sees her face in the light, a mysterious look appears on his face as if he has remembered something and realized something. Why are you? The girl swings her arm down, and at the same time, Harry's scream echoes. The area flashes with light. Harry is gone, and the floor tile where he was has been burned black. Now, only Cybil and the girl are in the corridor. She gasps. I assume if I run away, then it's the exact same thing as the other ending. Yes, if I run away, it's the exact same thing. I must fight. I have to fight. I cannot run from this. Cybil felt this instinctively. She suddenly charged at the girl. Once again, a ball of light began to grow large in a girl's hand. At the moment that the girl raised her hand high, Cybil knocked her to the ground before she could fire. Cybil then forcefully straddled the girl, placed both hands firmly around her neck, and continued to choke her. Her pupils were paralyzed by the bright light, but now as darkness quickly filled the area, she would only have to wait for her vision to return. But there is no time. The girl is putting up serious resistance. However, the girl's arms are gradually losing their strength as they push around Cybil's shoulders. Finally, Cybil's eyes become adjusted to the light. She can faintly see the outline of the girl's bare face. And then the girl speaks in a faint voice. But I only wanted to save you. What? Cybil heard the girl correctly. wanted to save me? Who are you? Impossible. Impossible. You are. She can see the girl's face. As the image of the girl fills Sybil's eyes with consciousness gradually grows distant. Her body becomes heavy. She has the desire to tell someone about who the girl is, but cannot. Sybil's consciousness grows distant. The end. What? I don't understand. What? And now I have every card that is obtainable. And I mastered the set. Okay. So this is all we can do. There are missing cards, but they are not available. So there is supposed to be a third playable character as a DLC, but you cannot get it anymore. So this is all we can do. And this is over. It's weird that none of her routes were actually canon to the main story. I mean, yeah, maybe the one where she gets killed by Harry, but then that's not the good ending. I mean, the good ending, but not the good plus ending. I guess. Okay. So we completed. We mastered this. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Oh. I wanted to raise someone, but her settings do not allow rage at this time. Oh well. We'll just end here. Thank you for watching. See you later. Bye bye.